Greetings to all of humanity. It's really a joy, it's a pleasure, it's my honor to be greeting you and always bring the message of emancipation to you, whereby I'm pointing to look inwardly to discover that your real identity is your divinity. Now, before I start speaking to you concerning Son Grazing, I just want to encourage you that if you haven't purchased this book already, which is the Overcomer's Bible, the 66 books of magic dedicated to Abdullah and Neville Garden, I'll encourage you to get it on Amazon. This is the New Testament, and the Old Testament is in 2 parts, and it's available also. And you can also get this Bible on ebook, in ebook form. Okay, Kindle, on Kindle. Okay, so you can get it in the Kindle form. So one of the main reason why I decided to do this Bible is to give each and everyone the opportunity to connect themselves with the Christ. And that's why Jesus is omitted out of this Bible, and there's a blank space for you to write a name next to the Christ, because the Christ is an experience, and you're the one that will get that experience, not a man 2,000 years ago, not a man with blue eyes or blonde hair. Okay, so in order for you to get rid of that brainwash and get rid of that kind of mental illness if you're thinking of a man 2,000 years ago, and for you to accept your own image and your own likeness, that blank space gives you the opportunity to do so. So you can check the link down below, and also you can check the link below for our Patreon, that if you want to support us on Patreon, or if you want to support us on PayPal, we are very grateful for any support that is given. Now, I want to speak to you concerning Son Grazing. And as you know, I do not try to speak about things that I have no experience about, because I do not see myself as an intellectual. I see myself as one sharing my testimony as a witness. Because hadn't it been that I would have had certain mystical experiences that no one in this world could explain to me, and no one can tell me otherwise, because I'm the one who had the experience and willing to share with humanity, I wouldn't have been here. Now, there are many people who teach about sun gazing, and they teach about sun gazing as to gaze at the sun on a regular basis. But I want to share with you my experience. Just recently, I had 2 experiences from looking at the sun. Yet, I'm not a person who normally go and practice sun gazing every day or every other day or every week. I don't. Okay? I mostly be led by my intuition. I say mostly, but I'm always led by my intuition. And it was just recently that I was heading into the town. It was very, 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 very early in the morning. And I'm just living about, say, 10 minutes away from the city. I was heading down, I was walking, going to the city. That was a very early Saturday morning. And when I reached by the radio station, which is the 705 radio station, NBC radio station, I felt led to look at the sun. The sun was just coming over the horizon. Okay, it could have been around 6:30 minutes to 7, around like that time in the morning. And I decided to look at the sun. Okay, and when I look at the sun, I would only look at the sun for a very, very short moment, maybe say 2 to 3 seconds with my eyes, then I'll close my eye and allow the sun to hit right here. Okay, that's how I normally operate whenever I look at the sun. And when I did that, when I opened back my eye, it's like as if the sun was communicating back to me. You know, there's a code that you use with a light. I think you call it the Morse code, where you go did something like that, and it's like the sun was doing all of that, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. There people was passing by. I was gonna call them and ask them to come and look at the sun and see if they see the same thing with me. But it's like if it was a communication communicating back to me, like did. I was getting that kind of a symbol, and I felt different. I felt real different and real strange. As I went into the city feeling different, feels strange, everything around me looked different, everything feels strange. It's as if I was in another world. it's as if my hearing improved. Everything was just different. I felt more light and everything. That was my experience I had with that sun gazing that morning. But just recently again, and then after that I never did any sun gazing again, okay? Just recently, I happened to sleep a little later than usual, and I woke up in the morning and the sun was just beaming up the horizon, the horizon, okay? And I woke up the morning and I was still in my drowsy, sleepy state, and you know when you're in that drowsy, sleepy state, you're in a certain brain wave, okay? And if you know about the theta brain wave and the alpha brain wave, which are more higher level of brain wave, and so on, you would realize that when you have this drowsy, sleepy state, and when you're experiencing that state, you're in a certain brainwave. And as you go into bed also, you're in a certain brainwave, and when you awake also, you're in a certain brainwave. But when I awake, I wasn't even quite aware of all of that I'm speaking to you about right now. But my intuition just moved upon me to look through the window and gaze at the sun. And as usual, as I say, I would gaze at the sun with my eyes for at least 3-4 seconds, something like that, and then I would close my eyes and let it beam right here, okay? And to be honest with you, when I did that in that drowsy, sleepy state, one of the most amazing things happened to me. I saw this sign and the eye that so many people call evil and all of these things. This was the eye I was actually seeing, and I was like shocked when I see this eye here like that. And then I take another look again and I saw the pyramid again like this, right? And then I saw the body of a melanated one, no face or anything like that, just a black body, a melanated body in the middle of the pyramid. And I'm not a regular person who normally go and gaze at the sun and call myself a sun gazer and so on. But my brother and my sisters, I can speak of that experience because I've been saying to people, these symbols that many people think are evil symbols, and they think, you know, secret society have these symbols and that they're evil and so on. It is basically certain wisdom that they're actually hiding from the masses, and they're hiding from society. That's why they're called secret society. They have secrets that the rest of society doesn't know. But you can tap into some of these secrets if you would only have an open mind, and if you would only get rid of the old thinking by which you have received from your parents, your teachers, your pastors, and so on, your politicians and so on. And try new things and see whether they work or if they don't work. So when you speak, you'll be able to speak from experience. So that was my experience from sun gazing. Also, if I gaze at the sun, whereby I just close my eyes and allow the sun to beam here, the light that I would see, that orange light was the same light that merged at the base of my spine with the blue light also, the blue flame. And as time goes by, I teach you concerning that blue flame. I mentioned it in a book that I'm writing right now about that blue flame and how to use that flame. Okay, and you can really use that flame within you and actually come out of your body or fall asleep consciously and actually know that you fall asleep, and you can do that and have your wish fulfilled at that moment, because that's when the genie will come up. And whatever is your wish will be his command. I know exactly what I'm saying to you. Okay, but you actually feel yourself slipping out of your body as you fall asleep. And you'll be conscious for a short moment, and then you become unconscious. Okay, and sometimes you can find yourself outside of your body. So you cannot do this with fear. Be fearful. All you have to do is just imagine yourself, you understand, back on your bed and so on, and allow yourself to get back unconscious, and then you will actually wake back up. Okay, so my brother and my sisters, this light of which I speak, that is from the sun, okay, That same light was the light that Marjorie blew at the base of my spine when I had that mighty shaking, and I awake within myself like a fiery being. That was the very first thing that happened. Those two lights, they merge, they embrace each other. The masculine and the feminine, the yin and the yang, the conscious and the subconscious. It is where God and man become one. And after I would have had that experience, many days after is when my son appeared before me in the dream world and called me Father. That's when I knew that I'm God, the Father. And David is my son. And David represents humanity, and all of humanity call me Father. Because I've come to that place of my Christ consciousness. I've come to that place of my higher self. And I'm not more than anyone. I only precede you in the awakening. And that's why I always bring the message of the sun to you and tell you the importance of the sun and how the Bible is actually the sun book. So you need to really get this book, the sun book, and understand this Bible psychologically. Because as I always say to you, the sun parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun. And this book is all about your imagination and the sun. And when you do that, you'll be connected. You'll be in full alignment, because there's only total oneness. The entire universe is mental. The entire universe is psychological. Everything that we behold is based on our perception. And everything that you behold without, it is within. Everything exists in your imagination and no other place else. And that is why this world that you're living in, that you think everything is so solid and real, it's all illusion. It's an illusionary world. That is why you cannot take back anything with you. Doesn't matter how much millions of dollars you have, you cannot take back anything with you. But the sun that is above you and within you and beneath you, that is you. You are that light. And that light is within you. And as long as you can discover that light within you, that light can travel anywhere. That light cannot die. That light cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed. So my brother and my sister, get more connected with the sun, because everything that is pertaining to God, it pertains to the sun. I was speaking to someone back in the city and they tell me God is the provider. I said, that's true. The sun is what provides everything for us. They say God is my healer. I said, that's true. The sun is what gives us all form of healing, because the sun is what allows all of the herbs and everything to grow, because without the sun there is no life and there is no light. So everything that people attribute to God, I can attribute it to the sun. I said to him, the sun is what put me to sleep and the sun is what wake me up. Okay? Whenever the sun is going down, humanity is going down with the sun. And when the sun is rising, humanity rises with the sun. And also, we have the different seasons. And so too with humanity, we have springtime, which is the new birth. We are coming forth, that's the springtime. We have summertime, you're living in a teenage age. You understand, with all your vigor and all your strength. And then you have autumn, where your teeth start dropping out, your hair start dropping off, you start getting wrinkles and so on, that's your autumn. And then there comes the winter, where things die, where things go into hibernation. So we all have to go through all of that. And it takes the sun for us to experience all of that. So my brother and my sisters, be more connected. Understand the sun book is the mind book. And understand that God and man are one. So with that being said, my brother and my sisters, I would never discourage anyone from doing sun gazing. Okay, I would rather encourage you to do it as you've been led. Now, I want to say if what I'm saying to you, it really resonates with you and it makes sense to you, and you haven't subscribed already, I encourage you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. But before I leave you, I just want to share with you that this message I bring to you, that it is the single eye, yes, the single eye message of self-realization, of which Matthew 6:22 says that if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. Which means if you get in touch with the sun within you, your whole body will be full of light, just as how the sun filled this whole world with light. And my brother and my sisters, had it been that I would have awakened within myself like a fiery being, after I would have heard the hand out the wind, and would have felt that great and mighty shaking, and that merging of those two lights at the base of my spine, and that single eye open within me, and I awake from the dream of life and come to understand that when the Bible says that I shall train from mortality to immortality in a twinkling of an eye, that twinkling of an eye is an opening of an eye. Had it been for that experience, I wouldn't have been here bringing this message to you. And always saying to you, do not let anyone deceive you by making you believe that the eye above the pyramid and the US star, that is an evil symbol. No, it is the symbol of the all-seeing eye of God in you. It is the eye of the mystics, the eye of the prophets, the seers, those who will go beyond the skull, those who will go beyond humanity and come in to divinity. Those who place that sign are always reminded of those who would go beyond humanity and come into their divinity. That's why they place that sign there. And they know those are the ones who will not be controlled by the system, because they have gone beyond humanity. So, with that being said, my brother and my sisters, that's the reason why I always put my hand right above my crown chakra and give you the symbol of the sign. So just as they say that God is above, we see that the sun is above, heaven is above, and the sun is above the earth and shining down on the earth, and our bodies is earth, and it has all the other elements. And when that light, that fire arises in us, and we have the birth from the skull, which is the fire birth, the Holy Ghost birth, as they refer to in the Bible, or the Holy Spirit birth, the true born again birth, the real virgin birth, would be like the sun beaming down on the earth and bringing light. That's why I'm bringing light to all of humanity. And I always saying to you that when you have the experience, that you will come to realize it is the rise of the S-U-N in an S-O-N, and that it is the dawning of a new day in your life. For the sun parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun. For without the sun, there is no life and there is no light. And without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. That's the reason why you're told in Psalm 84:11 that the Lord thy God is a sun and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. And truly the sun has never withheld any good thing from humanity. For the sun is what powers all of humanity and gives all of humanity their energy, its energy. Also, you're told in Malachi chapter 4 verses 2 that the Son of Righteousness shall arise in you with healing in his wings. And that's why I'm bringing healing to all of humanity, by saying to each and every one to use your mind power, which is your solar power, your sun power, your God power, your creative power, which is actually the sexual power. Use that power to achieve your every desire by getting more of the sun. So with that being said, I say peace, love you all, and out.